Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we sift through the latest news and research to bring you the most valuable insights. Today, we're diving into a company that's not just adapting to the AI revolution, but really seems to be leading the charge, reshaping how we all create, work, and connect. We're talking about Adobe, and specifically their third quarter fiscal year 2025 financial results. They just announced these on September 11th, 2025. So our mission today is really to cut through the numbers, understand how Adobe is strategically embedding AI into, well, pretty much every corner of their huge product portfolio. We're talking everything from the creative tools that power Hollywood right down to the everyday documents driving business and the platforms personalizing your online experience. This isn't just another earnings report. It feels more like a blueprint for how a major tech player is putting AI absolutely core to its strategy and thriving because of it. It's just a fascinating look at how AI is influencing everything, whether you're a designer, a business pro, or a marketer. I'm really keen to get a sense of the sheer scale and impact here.
And that's exactly why this deep dive is so crucial for you listening. These results, they're not just about the bottom line. They really highlight the tangible impact of widespread AI adoption in enterprise software. What's really insightful, I think, is how Adobe's managing to actually monetize AI across three very distinct and massive customer groups. You've got individual creators and creative professionals, then business users, and also these large-scale marketing operations. It really offers a unique case study in how deeply AI can be woven into such a diverse product ecosystem to drive, well, significant profitable growth.
Okay, so let's unpack those headline numbers from Adobe's Q3 then. They reported record revenue, nearly $6 billion.
That's right, $5.99 billion to be precise. That's an impressive 11% growth year over year.
Okay, 11%. And profitability.
Also strong. Their non-GAAP earnings per share, the figure that kind of strips out certain one-off items for a clearer operational view, grew a solid 14% to $5.31.
Right. But what really jumps out at me, maybe even more than the growth itself, is the confidence. They actually raised their full-year revenue and earnings targets again. That takes some doing.
It absolutely does. And if you connect that to the bigger picture, these strong financials are, well, they're a clear sign of a very successful, very deliberate strategy centered almost entirely around AI. I mean, Adobe has openly called AI their biggest opportunity in decades, right? And these latest results, they strongly back that up.
Okay.
What's particularly compelling, I think, is how quickly they're smashing their own internal targets for these new AI-first products. They've already blown past $250 million in revenue from these specific tools well ahead of their own schedule.
Wow.
And we're seeing really robust growth across their core segments, too. Digital media revenue climbed to $4.46 billion. That's up 12% year over year. And digital experience revenue hit $1.48 billion, growing 9%. Their total subscription revenue, the ARR for digital media, ended the quarter at over $18.5 billion. Consistent double-digit growth there.
Right. The recurring revenue is key.
Exactly. And maybe even more telling, their AI-influenced ARR, so revenue directly tied to AI features, has now surged past $5 billion. That's up significantly from just $3.5 billion last fiscal year.
So you can really see the AI investments paying off directly.
Directly. And all this fed into a record $2.2 billion in cash flows from operations for the quarter. These aren't just abstract numbers. They're real proof that their AI strategy, their AI gamble, if you like, is really paying off handsomely.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting for, well, anyone who creates anything, right? From a seasoned graphic designer to someone just starting out on social media, Adobe is positioning itself as the operating system for creative work. That's a big claim. How are they actually doing that? How are they infusing AI into Photoshop, Premiere Pro? And what's the deal with Firefly? Give us the juicy details.
Well, it raises that important question, doesn't it? How does a company with such established, industry standard tools manage to stay ahead while integrating something as disruptive as AI? Adobe's strategy seems to be essentially twofold. First, deep AI integration into the existing apps people already use and love. And second, the rapid development of totally new, innovative AI-first products.
Okay.
But the real aha moment here, I think, is their focus on choice and flexibility for the creator. They're not just pushing their own models, which are designed to be commercially safe. They're actually integrating a whole range of leading third-party models, too.
Oh, interesting. Like who?
Well, names like Google, OpenAI, directly within the Adobe applications.
So you don't have to leave your workflow.
Exactly. That's the key. Creators get access to all this cutting-edge AI without disrupting how they work. It gives them, unparalleled creative options. So for their flagship apps, think Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere Pro, After Effects AI is now just baked right in. Take Photoshop's new Harmonize feature. Imagine you're trying to add something new into an image, right?
Mm.
Getting the lighting, the colors, the shadows to match perfectly.
Mm.
That's usually a real headache.
Oh, yeah, that can take ages.
Right. Harmonize basically automates that whole process.
Yeah.
So it's no surprise it's become one of the most rapidly adopted AI tools. Or look at Illustrator's Project Turntable. It lets users instantly rotate 2D artwork to see different angles accurately. Again, saving potentially hours of manual work. These are real practical time-saving things.
Yeah.
And then there's Adobe Firefly. They call it an AI production studio, basically designed to massively speed up content creation. It's available as its own subscription, but it's also integrated into Creative Cloud Pro. And what's really interesting is how Firefly seems to be attracting these next-gen creators. Yeah. First-time Adobe subscribers coming through the Firefly app grew 20% just quarter over quarter.
Wow, so it's bringing in new users.
Exactly. Millions of mobile app downloads already, and its monthly active users jumped 30% this quarter alone. And beyond individuals, there are Firefly services for enterprises, doing automated large-scale content production. They're seeing huge growth in custom models, too. That's AI trained on specific brands' assets.
So tailored AI for big companies.
Precisely. The impact is just, well, staggering.
Yeah.
Generative AI usage hit 29 billion generations, and video generations alone grew nearly 40% this quarter.
29 billion.
Yeah. And this broad appeal is also driving user growth in emerging markets, like India, where Creative Cloud units grew 50% year over year. So it's clear this strategy is hitting the mark, not just with individuals, but with big enterprise names too. You see Disney, FedEx, Volkswagen using these tools now.
That's a really powerful story for the creative side. But let's shift gears a bit to the everyday professional. We're talking tools like Acrobat, Adobe Express. I mean, PDFs, right? They've been around for over 30 years. They're everywhere. How do you take something so fundamental and genuinely evolve it with AI? What does reimagining document productivity actually look like?
That's a great question because it really challenges that idea that innovation only happens with brand new stuff. The aha. Here's how Adobe is trying to transform something as seemingly static as a PDF into like a dynamic knowledge hub for this new AI era.
Okay, a knowledge hub.
Yeah, it's about moving beyond just reading documents. It's about actively discovering insights within them, synthesizing information across multiple documents, and then sharing that knowledge effortlessly.
Yeah.
They've launched Acrobat Studio, which is a new premium offering combining Acrobat and Express. It kind of bridges that gap between productivity and creative tasks. Early signs are it's being well received. And a key innovation here is something called PDF spaces.
PDF space.
Yeah, imagine taking a bunch of related documents, reports, articles, notes, whatever. Instead of them just being separate files, they become this single collaborative space. You can organize them, use an AI assistant to chat with them, pull out key insights.
Like asking questions of your documents.
Exactly. And then you can remix that content into new formats, maybe a presentation or a summary. You could even create little AI agents to automate routine document tasks for you.
Interesting.
And then there's the Acrobat AI assistant itself. It's essentially a conversational interface for your PDFs. Think ChatGPT, but focused entirely on your documents. It helps you understand and summarize info across potentially trillions of PDFs out there. And its usage has just exploded across desktop, web, mobile.
How much growth are we talking?
Ending units grew over 40% quarter over quarter. And actual engagement, people having conversations, getting summaries that grew by nearly 50% in just the last 3 months. Adobe Express is also seeing huge uptake, especially in the enterprise.
Right. Express is more for quick content creation.
Yeah, simpler design, social media posts, things like that. And a great example is Dentsu, the global marketing giant. They're rolling out Express to all 68,000 employees worldwide.
All of them. Wow.
Yeah, it lets them scale content creation massively, but crucially, keep it brand consistent. That's a huge challenge for big organizations. Over 14,000 new organizations added Express just in Q3. That's a 4-fold increase year over year. And its usage within Acrobat nearly doubled.
So people are using them together.
Exactly. It's also making big strides in education. Student access to Express premium plans is up over 80% year over year. They even partnered with the state of California to give high school and college students access to Express, Acrobat AI Assistant, and Firefly. You combine that with new integrations, like with LinkedIn and Miro, and it's driving the combined Acrobat and Express monthly active users up by about 25% year over year.
Okay, fascinating stuff on the productivity side. Now let's talk marketing, because AI is completely shaking up consumer behavior, isn't it? We saw that incredible stat, large language model traffic, the AIs like ChatGPT growing by 4,700% year over year in July 2025. That's just mind-boggling. So what does this massive shift actually mean for marketers? How is Adobe helping brands navigate this move away from just traditional search links towards, well, generative AI discovery, where people get answers directly from an AI?
Yeah, that stat really highlights a massive pressing question for basically every brand out there. How do you acquire and engage customers when the fundamental way people find information is changing so fast?
Right.
Adobe's in a pretty unique position here because they can fuse creativity, marketing data, and what they're calling agentic AI.
Agentic AI, explain that a bit.
Essentially, think of AI systems that can act almost like digital assistants. They can perform complex tasks on your behalf, either autonomously or semi-autonomously. So for marketing, it's about using these agents to orchestrate hyper-personalized, immersive experiences and doing it at scale. Because like you said, traditional link-based search isn't the only way anymore. Brand discovery is shifting. People are talking to AIs.
So you need to be visible in those AI conversations.
Precisely. It demands a platform that's integrated, automated, agile, and can handle massive scale. And their flagship innovation here is Adobe GenStudio. They describe it as the most comprehensive content supply chain solution for enterprises.
Content supply chain, so managing content creation from start to finish.
Exactly. It's designed to really turbocharge content creation and automate those marketing workflows using AI. Its core parts, things like Workfront for project management, Frame.io for video collaboration, AEM assets for digital asset management now collectively pull in over $1 billion in annual recurring revenue. And that's growing over 25% year over year.
Okay, so big money, big growth.
Definitely. And they've added new capabilities in GenStudio specifically for performance marketing. Things to accelerate video and display ad creation, including a new commercially safe Firefly video model. They've even built in integrations with the big ad platforms, Amazon Ads, Google Campaign Manager, LinkedIn, Meta, making it much easier for marketers to actually get campaigns out the door faster. We're also seeing big developments in the Adobe Experience Platform, or AEP, that's their underlying data platform.
Right.
Their AEP AI assistant is already being used by 70% of eligible customers. That's pretty fast adoption. They also just launched the AEP Agent Orchestrator this quarter. Think of it as a central command center for a business to build, manage, and coordinate all their different AI agents, both Adobe's and third-party ones.
So managing your AI workforce, essentially.
Kind of, yeah. And looking just ahead, they have something called the Adobe LLM Optimizer coming soon. It's currently in early access. They're calling it an agentic app, designed specifically to help brands improve their visibility and engagement across all these different LLM platforms, making sure your brand actually shows up effectively in those AI chats.
That sounds crucial.
It really does. And these efforts are clearly working. AEP and its native apps saw subscription revenue grow over 40% year over year. Cross-cloud deals, customers buying across both digital media and digital experience grew a strong 60%, showing the value people see in that integrated platform. And maybe the most telling stat, over 40% of their top 50 enterprise accounts have actually doubled their annual spend with Adobe since just fiscal year 2023.
Doubled their spend in just a couple of years.
Yeah. It shows just how critical Adobe's platform is becoming for these really large businesses navigating this AI shift.
So with all this incredible innovation, all this adoption across creative, business, and marketing, what does it actually mean for Adobe's financial outlook? It just feels remarkable that they raised their targets again for the full fiscal year.
It really speaks volumes about their sustained confidence, doesn't it? Not just looking ahead to Q4, but for the entire fiscal year 2025. It just underscores the kind of durable, profitable growth they clearly expect from these AI-first and AI-infused solutions. So for Q4 specifically, they're projecting total Adobe revenue to land somewhere between $6.075 billion and $6.125 billion.
Okay.
That includes digital media revenue around $4.5 billion, give or take, and digital experience revenue around $1.5 billion. And non-GAAP earnings per share are forecasted between $5.35 billion and $5.40. And then for the updated full fiscal year 2025 targets, they're now expecting total Adobe revenue to hit between $23.65 billion and $23.70 billion.
Huge numbers.
Massive. They're also projecting digital media ending ARR growth of 11.3% year over year, still strong double digits there. And full-year non-GAAP earnings per share expect in the range of $20.80 to $20.85. Geographically, no major shifts. The revenue split stays pretty consistent. America's around 59%, EMEA 27%, and Asia 14%. It just shows that broad global reach they have. These are really projections of continued strong performance, all built squarely on that AI strategy foundation.
And there you have it, a really comprehensive deep dive into Adobe's Q3 FY2025 results. We've seen a company that's not just reporting strong financials, but actively showing how a strategic, kind of all-in embrace of AI can drive real innovation and growth across a massive product portfolio. From empowering individual creators with Firefly to transforming enterprise marketing with Gen Studio and genuinely reimagining document productivity with Acrobat Studio. It's clear AI isn't just a feature for Adobe anymore, it's the central engine driving their future. And this intense focus on AI integration, it touches so many parts of our digital lives, doesn't it? It's changing how we work, how we create, how we connect. It really makes you wonder, what new skills or tools do you think will become essential in your own work, or maybe your creative pursuits, as companies like Adobe keep embedding these agentic AIs and intelligent assistants into, well, pretty much every workflow? How might these advancements fundamentally change not just the software we use day to day, but maybe even how we interact with information itself, and indeed how we interact with each other? Definitely something to ponder as you continue your own learning journey.